Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official, no negotiations needed, period. Yes, we back with another one. And unfortunately, for the last week or so, we haven't had really any hot boxing cards. Now, if you're a truist or a purist, you're going to say to yourself, man, it don't matter if it's hot or not. We should still be talking about Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. Well, it seemed like so many people have just wrenched every, ounce and droplet of juice when it comes to the media out of that fight. I'm like, I can't do it. But I will mention this. I will say we have the Keith Thurman, Sebastian Fundora fight that's coming up October 25th. And you're probably saying to yourself, what about Ennis versus Lima Beans? Hey, man. I'd rather talk about Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wortley than October 11th in Philly with Ennis and Lima Beans. It comes back full circle when they was talking about Ibisnesian, Anesthesian, and end up fighting the same common opponent as Crawford and couldn't get him up out of there. But the schedule, for the least part, you have some fights that's going on all over the world. That's just the way boxing is. So let me just post this up here for you. All right. Shout out to the chat. Mike in the building. Carlos in the building. Bruce Gas Boxing in the building. The OG on deck. So let me bring this up here. This is the upcoming schedule. Okay. There you go right there. That's the upcoming schedule from October 11th to December 27th via ESPN.com. And like I said, we've been pretty much struggling, a little bit dehydrated from fights that we really want to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Tilt a couple of glasses back and say, I just can't wait for that. We got some pretty decent ones on here. I'm not going to lie. We got some pretty decent main eventers, but I'm not too high on the entire fight card like always. But we have some pretty decent closers in the latter half of the semester of 2025. Real talk. Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wortley, yes. Sebastian Fundora, Keith Thurman, absolutely, for the WBC junior middleweight title. November 8th, Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Erickson Lubin, hitter, 12-round showcase for Ortiz WBC junior middleweight interim title. Yes. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, 10 rounds, cruiserweight exhibition. I never thought that I'll see, Tank Davis' name next to cruiserweight. Being that the highest division he ever fought on the sanctioned bout for a title outside of an exhibition was super lightweight. I never thought I would see this. Tank is about to fight a cruiserweight exhibition. And the rumor that's swirling around that is the money is going to be very, very heavy. Cinder block heavy, if you know what I mean. More than one duffel bag heavy. Okay. Then in November 22nd, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Title fight, David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. Yeah. 12-round championship showcase, man. For Benavidez, WBC light heavyweight title, yo. WBC light heavyweight title. That is going to be a hitter. That is going to be a hitter. And stepping into the back end right after Christmas, December 27th, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the zone title fight. Naoya and Inoue against Alan Picasso. I just wish they can paint a better opponent for Inoue outside of his last name. I really do. I would have liked to see somebody else, but hey, you know how Inoue does it. Any way he wants. 12th round championship showcase for Inoue's undisputed junior featherweight championship. Wow. You know, there go a main event headliner, a list right there, a roster. You have some heavy hitters on here to close out the main events for the following year, 2025. I like it. One of the fights I don't like out of the whole card is, of course, Jaron Buchanan versus Yuiz Lima. I don't like that fight at all because it's just for that to be a main event in Philly. Philly fans don't deserve that. Philly fans deserve better than a plate of lima beans. They deserve better than that due to the history, everything that they've been a part of when it comes to boxing. They deserve better than this. And unfortunately, they about to get another Korean Chudikin esque type fight. You know, not a huge name. It's good to make money in your backyard. But what is it saying for your understanding on how to brand yourself? What is that saying about you? On how to expand your fan base in Philly? How to spoil them? They're not spoil you off of this. The only type of spoil you that's going on is if you leave, you know, a dozen of eggs in the back of the car and it's 125 degrees outside and they've been there for a good week. That type of spoil. I mean, this might be spoil your eggs. Now, what I've known to happen, what I've seen, and what I know to happen in fights like this, that it seems like it's going to be a bit lopsided. Sometimes they turn out to be great, yo. Sometimes the fight turn out to be great due to the A side carrying the fighter. But Uizma, he might be in here on some real type. Hey, I'm about to go in there and do what I'm supposed to do. I know everybody's underestimating me, but I'm about to go in there and do what I'm supposed to do. Yzma might go in there and show us that he's a plate of string beans. You know what I'm saying? Not llama beans. You know, butter beans, pinto beans, any bean besides llama bean. He might show us that he's much different than that, and I would appreciate if he does. But I'm going for Jaron Ennis to go in there and put on a what should be a masterclass boxing performance against Lima. A lot of people looking for Ennis to pretty much show us levels to him stepping up to 154. He hasn't quite shown that. We know he's highly talented. Ennis is highly talented, but versus competition where he should be highly talented, his performance value should be peaked out. You understand how this chat in the MF game? We know this. We know this. Shout out to the UGK, the News by Shaw News, man. Bud Crawford, greatness star, Power Team Jones from the tribe of Hemeti. Crawford is solidified as an international global star now. Yes, Crawford is global, international. He has been anointed, adorned, permitted to join the likes of the Sumari. You have to be honored. You just can't go out there and fill out an application that you saw off the back of a Wheaties box. Cheerios. No, you have to be anointed, accepted, received a rite of passage. You have to have the rite of passage, man. You can't go up there to my man. Basketball been my hobby, but I got into a couple of fights on the court. And you check them out on YouTube. I want to know, can y'all, give me an anointment that I've been looking for the Summarize? I seen y'all do that for Crawford. I don't think Crawford really did much anyway, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, you can't go up there talking and having convo with these masters, professors. You can't do that. So let me take this down right quick. See what some of y'all have to say in the chat. When we gonna see Team Tucker again? He said, Shaw News, when we gonna see Team Tucker again? Good question. Good question. Shaw News, you can answer that if you feel free to answer this. Yes. Good question. Good question. Hey, shout out to Trey Williams in the building, man. Hey, great interview with Shaw News, man. Real talk. One thing I appreciate, especially about my people, is that when they know how to speak well. And I'm not saying that to basically dumb down that my people speak a certain way. I just like when, especially when it comes to boxers, you know what I'm saying? Interviewers knowing how to speak fluently and have a general conversation with people. It doesn't seem like it's a touch and go slingshot type of method. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Trey, man, in the building. Carlos says, it's crazy how life works. The guy Buzz wanted to fight down his resume, and now he's a cash cow and star. They want to spin the block. Yes, sir. Don't. Hey, Carlos, chill, man. Chill. On the first day of Christmas, man. December's on the way, dog. Chill. Nah, I changed my mind. Don't chill. Because you're absolutely right. Sebastian Fundora, I don't blame him. But he said, hey, I want to fight Bud Crawford. He's the best in the building. But Samson was the hater. Samson, he didn't think Bud Sales, he didn't think he was a good fight. Now he the cash cow. He beat Canelo. Man, they saying to themselves, I wish I can get that fight now. But the price yesterday isn't the price today. It's just not the fight. What's good with you, bro? It's just not the price, man. Prices went up, especially when you fought the cash cow and dominated. You dominated. And I was just speaking on, Crawford's legendary performance. And I was saying, I wonder if Canelo's going to make him stick his tongue out, because it's been fights that we haven't seen him stick his tongue out. We haven't seen him say, okay, you hit me with a nice shot, acknowledge. But this time he was sticking his tongue out when he was connected. The things he was doing, the timing that he had. You probably seen the highlight that went viral. The hand trap that he did on Canelo with the right, came over with the left. I mean, beautiful work with the countering. Hand speed looks superb. If by chance Crawford took it easy on the Madrimov fight, just like a lot of us have said, so he wouldn't spook getting the Canelo fight. We don't place Madrimov on the same level or echelon of Canelo Alvarez. But being that Crawford moved up and pretty much emulated the same setting that he did with Canelo Alvarez. He didn't have no fights at 154, and he moved up to a higher division, taking his first fight as a championship showcase. That's respectable. That's real respectable. You know what I'm saying? That's real respectable. But when it comes down to how he performed with Madrimov, had people doubting, saying he was old, he was Asian, antiquated, groggled, you know what I'm saying? A little bit dilapidated. They say he didn't have the foot placement. His foot was dragging, like they were showing old age. But I guess that was a lie. I guess that was a lie. And then, there's so many pages that can be folded and bookmarked, right? As to when the news actually start to get traction. And they these haters wanted him to pretty much take a tune-up fight before um facing Canelo. Like like it's in the bylaws. Like you go to ABA. It's in the bylaws. Like it's a prerequisite that a fighter has to take a fight before stepping up to a new division. That's not it. You can move up to a division and take a fight. There's been plenty of fighters that do that. Never had a fight at that weight and move up there and take a fight. It's just the fighter that he was going up there to fight was a pound for pound fighter, number one at a point in time. This guy was they was trying their best to immortalize Canelo Alvarez. And for somebody to take that away, they never quite seen Crawford in the lens. The lens was very smudgy, foggy, unclear. The visual wasn't, lucid as the way it's supposed to be. They say it's no way this small 35er gonna come up here. He got hurt by Gamboa, man. This ain't it. This ain't his calling, man. This is not his calling. That's what they thought. But we had the opportunity to witness two greats. One great, the cash cow that made millions off the sport. He was able to step in there and grace the square with Terence Crawford and make his highest payday ever in his career, fighting a fighter 2 divisions lower. 2 divisions lower. He made his highest payday. Then I'm thinking, a guy that really don't speak on numbers like that. I'm hearing that Crawford was going to get paid like 50 million. I still don't know what he got paid. They say 10, 15, 20. I don't know. But the good part about it, overall, when you're talking about the entire umbrella, forget the flowers. We're talking about the raining down the support. We're talking about raining the support that he went up there and beat Canelo decisively. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. It wasn't no knee. It wasn't nothing in his eye. He didn't stick his head outside the ring and Steve Willis said, huh? I ain't see nothing. It wasn't any controversy like that. It was very minimal, if anything, that you can growl about. The fight was beautiful, man. It was a masterful display from Terence Crawford. And I'm glad he went in there and shut Canelo down. Not only did he shut him down, he showed some skill sets that the mad scientist, Red Spike, I think his name, Esau, and Bernie the Boxer, and B&B, man. He said the training was harder than beating Canelo. That's when you have a fighter that's living the lifestyle. He said the training was harder. Now, a guy who wasn't too enticed to be in front of the lens of media early on in his career, now he's everywhere. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. He's everywhere, yo. Every time you turn on, man, Crawford is everywhere. And that's a good sight to see, man. I'm glad he's finally being able to get the exposure, the expansion. He's bleeding over into other demographics, bro. Now you see him with the legendary Sumari pictures. Man, that's cold. That's cold right there. That's cold, man. That's cold. You Canelo fans, look at that. I don't know where y'all been at. Underground Railroad talking to Harriet, but goddamn, them Sumari pictures are cold. I'm not gonna hold you. I mean, a lot of us would love to take some samurai pictures with the body armor and everything, with the weapons. Man, we would love to have that opportunity. But the one and only, the legend himself, Sir Crawford, he's been anointed. You just can't go over there and ask to put on that. He's been recognized now. Show enough, legendary. People don't want to say it. They still hating on the man, but they don't have any other choice. You can count down all you want what his resume is supposed to look like. But in boxing, certain fights like this happen for a reason at the right time. The good thing about this fight, no one was really speaking on it 4 or 5 years ago. Of course, Bomac let us know that they've been studying Canelo for a extensive amount of time. And it showed in the ring that they had been studying Canelo. The unfortunate aspect about Eddie Reynoso and Canelo is that I'm just getting this feeling that Eddie Reynoso was like, man, we getting paid. I'm gonna train you the way I train you. I'm not gonna switch up anything and make it funky. I'm gonna send you in there with what's work. Look, I'm gonna send you in there what's been working. It ain't broke. I'm definitely ain't trying to fix it. Whereas Team Crawford is like, hey, we're gonna break him. We're gonna break some of the areas. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put some cracks in those areas that we've seen that seem a bit vulnerable to a fighter like us. Yeah, we're gonna open them up a little bit, as they call it. And that's exactly what happened, man. Where are the Canelo fans? The Canelo fans, man, is devastated, yo. The Canelo fans are devastated. If you want to talk about a black man getting away with crimes that certain people consider to be injustice, but really it's justice, right? They just didn't want Crawford to be a part of the justice. They wanted Crawford to continue to be second fiddle to Canelo Alvarez when his name was summoned in a boxing convo. Whenever you hear these debates going on, they always love for Crawford to be second fiddle. Oh, if he fight this person, then if he fight that person, then it was always if he. But when the name Canelo came up, no, he shouldn't. No, he ain't. He don't deserve that fight. What has he done? Arrow's gone. I'm not saying he ain't come back to the sport, but July 29th, the T-Mobile massacre, man, he put Arrow to bed. He put EJ to rest. He's been on a long rest since July 29, 2023. But who would have believed that Canelo Alvarez name would show up on the manifesto? Saul Canelo Alvarez in Allegiant Stadium facing the one and only Desperado himself, Omaha, Nebraska's own Terence Crawford. One fight at 154, moving up 2 divisions to face the man who's moved up as high as 175. And he goes in there and dominates. And the good thing I like about Canelo, man, is after he got that whooping, he accepted, hey, yeah, he got me good. He beat my ass. He whooped me. I'm about to go home. I'm taking it out on Eddie. You know what I'm saying? Canelo had to make sure he came in there clean too. I don't know if that might have been the reason why one of the little areas of concern, but we're not making any excuses. All I'm saying, when it came down to throwing those body shots, that hook to the body and everything, Team Crawford said we have a counter for that. Beautiful counters. The timepiece was wonderful. You couldn't have predicted it any better for Crawford to go in there and dominate such a high-level fighter. The cash cow himself, the legend himself, the Mexican legend himself, Canelo Alvarez. How can you say Crawford beat Canelo without Crawford getting just as much credit for moving up 2 divisions, challenging himself? Not only just any challenge, but he was fighting for undisputed in his first 168-pound super middleweight fight. You going in there against the cash cow, the creme de la creme, and you got this little guy, they say, that's had a year to put on muscle. He's going in there to bang out with Canelo Alvarez, y'all. First fight at 168 pounds. They say he looked marginal against Madrimov. A lot of these haters was on here saying that Madrimov won that fight. They was writing Bud off. When it came up that he was going to face Canelo September 13th, they say, well, you might as well say Bud is already 40 years old because he has a birthday the same month he's going in there fighting Canelo. Yeah. But goddamn it, the Sumari has spoken. Show enough. Legendary. We had a chance to see it, man. We had a chance to see one of the best to ever do it in this era. Go up, not just do it, so-called the traditional way by actually campaigning in the weight class. But he took the elevator, skipped some floors, got off at 168 and went in there and absolutely masterclass Canelo Alvarez. Now, the masterclass wasn't like Spence, of course, but anybody who's been listening, I feel like the Canelo performance was just as worse as Spence. Let me elucidate. My clarification to it all is the way he dominated Spence, there was speculation, doubt. People saying that Errol had fought the better competition. But just like Canelo, they remediated too much of their skill set on someone who was steadily, in their training to switch theirs up. So what he had the counter offer that he had for EJ was too easy. He was just cashing it. Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez is two different fighters. He pretty much made Errol Spence wear the fight. Canelo, he didn't make Canelo wear the fight, but he made us aware that he was able to land punches on Canelo that you haven't seen other fighters be able to do. He might not have opened Canelo up to the point where we start to see the Picasso painted. We start to see the face paint come alive, the bruises and everything. We might be able to see that. He got a couple of bruises here and there, but more so his technical skill set, thought process, the adjustments that Bud has always been praised for, and that IQ, that amazing intellect when it comes to the IQ. That's why I pretty much downgraded seeing Jerron in and spar with Canelo Alvarez, because I say people can go to the club and dance all the time. You can go there and dance all you want. That doesn't mean they're gonna let you on Soul Train. That doesn't mean with every song you can vibe to every song. You can catch the beat and vibe to every song. This was different. Seeing Jerron in and step in and help Canelo, it seemed to me Canelo was just trying to, get a little bit more publicity. Give Jerron Ennis, take a shot at Bud in the process. But you really can't take a shot at someone like Crawford, whose mindset isn't as feeble as people want it to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Oh boy is different when it comes to what people say he can't do and what he always believed he can do. And to dress it up, Bud's mentality is what I will do. And he went out there and did that with Canelo. I never seen a fighter shut down 2 pound-for-pound fighters, 2 pound-for-pound fighters, as Bud Crawford did. Not just in dominating fashion, but shut them down decisively. No ifs, ands, or buts about it on who won. No split decision, no majority decision. Shut them down with no, let's go into deliberation. Oh, the scorecards is taking long to return. No, none of that. Regardless, Bud would have gave them all crazy work. Yeah, for sure. Bold and understanding. What's good? What's good? The way Bud subtly worked the inside versus Canelo was a thing of beauty. It was, man. You know, the process, all the training. You know, you want to talk about artwork. I mean, his artwork was amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Attention to detail. That's what Picasso's are freaking appraised for. The attention to detail. What stands out. And all that little that small stuff that you really can't see to the camera, the broadcasting camera, and then you get these little clips after the fight on how he was countering Canelo, man, and how accurate and punctual. Oh my God, yo. Shout out to Haynes Legacy in the building. What it do, bro? Salute to you. Good you showed up. I'm saying already been live 30 minutes. Okay, anyway. Juice in the building. What's good? Bud Crawford, the Omaha Shogun. Yes, man. Yes, man. Show enough legendary. The Omaha Shogun dons the body armor of the samurai, which is an absolute privilege to have. God dang. It's a privilege to dress that in that samurai suit. You know, I heard he was over there in Tokyo. Anybody been to Tokyo? It's a nice place, man. Tokyo is a nice place. Shout out to Mrs. Haynes in the building. We see you on deck. The boxing queen is in the building. Don't get mad, Jessica. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad now. You know what there can be more than one queen. But shout out to Mrs. Haynes Legacy on deck. Bud say, I'm done with boxing. I'm gonna go be a samurai. Yeah, man. Hey, why not? Why not, Carlos? Why go kick people in the head now? You've been punching them up. Why not don some weapons now? Why not? It's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to get a freaking put in for a registration, get approved to have a samurai sword carry, or open carry, concealed carry, and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's none of that. They're basically saying Bud has earned the right to be adorned as a samurai. Let's look at what samurai means. Okay? It's so many different meanings. What is the meaning of samurai? The instinctual type of person who needs to learn that trusting their gut is a good idea. Such trust won't simply appear out of the dark. It needs to be built up and trained. Once your instinct is advanced enough, they will remove many false judgments. Name samurai meaning. An idealist who dreams of living in a harmonious world. People with his name tend to be naturally loyal and compassionate. Developing those qualities further can be beneficial. Service is one of your key benefits. You know that something is only given once. It is earned. And what say one more again? Something is given only. Something is only given once. It is earned. Eager to learn, your curious and tolerant essence like progress. Not the biggest fans of secrets. Rather than keep them, you want to unveil them. We can definitely say Crawford unveiled certain areas of his skill set that his opponent hasn't been able to extract from him. Not that he didn't want to use them or he hadn't tried to use them, but Canelo Alvarez, with the film study, with the training, with everything that encompassing fight camp, they really put their heads together and came up with a masterful plan. A masterful plan, yo. Crawford unveiled to us, you know, that Phantom B, that Bravo Charlie Delta Echo Foxtrot. That they were saying, hey, you know, Crawford has some other skill sets to his cachet. You know, we just haven't seen it yet. And yeah, Canelo was able to, allow those to come out. And it's not so much to say that he forced, you know what I'm saying? He forced Crawford to use him. It's that Canelo is no joke. He is not a low-level tyro in the game. He's very experienced. So it's better to present them without Canelo forcing you to use them. So Crawford said, I'm going to be the presenter. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you things, and I'm going to have you be reactive instead of me using them and be reactive. I'm going to be proactive. You're going to be reactive. And man, hey, Canelo got that work. It says perceiving other people's feelings on a deeper level is made possible by your distinctive empathy. This essentially lets you read others like an open book. Let's go to some other Sumari. They say, what does Sumari stand for? The meaning of the given name Sumari represents idealism, intuition, romance, generosity, creativity, wisdom, and tolerance. That's what they're saying Sumari stands for. But when we are thinking about Sumari, we're thinking more so from a physical stamp that Crawford has put on boxing. We're talking about, the level of his skill set, how thorough he looked in there. We're talking about the advancement over time from when he was being criticized coming up through the ranks to when he fought Julius Ndongo at 141, his first undisputed, to the fact that he went up there to 47 and was WBO champion for extensive amount of time while we pretty much converse with one another to do what? Speak up the Errol Spence clash. That clash finally happened. Now, it's easy to say we can look out here on the news and be like, yeah, we give partial credit for. No, I mean, when you're speaking up on Errol Spence, right? And there were so many people that saying, regardless of the car accident, he's too strong for Crawford. And then Crawford went in there and just beat him down like he was straight out of the YMCA, and he had been talking smack online. And Crawford said, "Hey, bring your ass up to the gym, man." He beat EJ up like that. And then, for him to get a year to put on enough weight, because a lot of people was pretty much crying, throwing tantrums, pouting, snot bubbles, biting on their passy when they know they too damn old to even have it in their mouth to begin with. They was crying about 14 pounds. 14 freaking pounds. They were saying, no. What is he doing? They was act like they was asking, Crawford was asking to be injected 14 vaccines at one time. They was acting like this was impossible weight for him to achieve. And he had a total of 12 months, man. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all. I'm back. But yeah, I mean, we look at the progress of fights, right? How they materialize over time. So we have a lot to talk about, especially as boxing enthusiasts, right? We have all these debates and dialogues that I speak on all the time, right? But then you say to yourself, why don't these individuals that talk boxing all the time, weren't they able to see the potential of something materializing? Why is it like, forget about anything you say? I'm going to be extremely biased and say this fight cannot happen because Crawford's coming up 2 weight classes. So this is the art of war, right? I hear so many people speak. I hear so many people break it down. They're very, very thorough, articulated, detailed about how a fighter can fight, how a weight class, who's next in the weight class. But how can they be blind when it comes to a challenge? Someone who's willing to challenge themselves. And boxing is so open-ended where you can submit the paperwork for whoever you're freaking, for whoever you're signed to, or however the fight played out for you. Everybody has a history. For Crawford, they say he didn't look too good against Madrimov. But the very same reason they was praising him for his knockout streak at 147, they excoriated him when he went up to 54. Why? Because they would say he didn't fight nobody at 47. But at 54, he fought a champion and he didn't get the knockout. So you see how that fiddle plays, right? Strings all broken. It sounds terrible because it was so much hate and bias when he was knocking out, had a knockout streak since 140 pounds, to move up in weight. And this where I thought the boxing enthusiasts would understand. They would be like, hey, I don't think he's going to knock him out. It has nothing to do with 47. What they were saying is all of a sudden, the power that Crawford was possessing in 147 didn't carry over to 54. But I would give you full credit if you would have been saying that, yeah, he legitimate knocking out some quality opponents. So therefore, I'm expecting him to go up here and put some hands on Madrimov. That's what I'm expecting. But they was downgrading it so much to the fact that they should have seen that he went up to 54, and that's just the way it should have played out. He moved up in weight. He still went in there and touched Madrimov up. And just because he didn't get the knockout, styles definitely makes fights. Absolutely. Madrimov chose to feint, distance, close, in and out. That's what he selected to do. But when it comes down to the maturation process of something that we can say was very much expedited, y'all. This fight was expedited. This wasn't no tres, no cuatro, cinco, no ichi ni sanchi go. No, this wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? This fight right here was expedited. We got to bring in Turkey Al-Sheikh. We got to bring in the heavy hitters and role players and all that. We got to bring in all that, yo. This fight expeditiously was made off the strength of individuals clapping their hands when Turkey Al-Sheikh canceled the fight initially because Canelo Alvarez was going to fight Jake Paul. Unbelievable. Individuals that say they're enthusiasts did not want to see two combatants take the square in a fight where you already had an undefeated. Canelo wasn't undefeated, but Crawford was undefeated. 2 division undisputed. And the boxing enthusiasts, they get on here and want to debate until the words start sounding funny. The body, you said? No, the body. You talking about debate. No, I mean, they say it so much. They themselves wanted to get on here and say, no, this fight can't happen. Why not? It's just Canelo's just too big. 14 pounds. Oh my God. 14 cents doesn't seem like anything to $1. You know what I'm saying? 1,400 to 100,000 doesn't seem much to that sum of money. I'm just saying, they act like that was an incredible feat for Crawford to go in there and face Canelo, having given 12 months to prepare. And he did an amazing job. Shout out to the Shogun. Legendary, man. Shogun, legendary. Real talk. Legendary. Canelo fans haven't performed well at work. Their relationships are on the rocks. and the beer doesn't taste the same since September 14th, 2025, about 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. What up, Blue Hustle? What's good? I see you, man. Another mistake Canelo team did was give Bud all the time to get his body ready for that fight. What? True words spoken. True words spoken. Ring the bells. True words spoken. Gave that man 12 full months to not only just to put on more than 14 pounds, but to properly build his physique to be able to carry that weight in there for 12 rounds with Canelo without fatiguing and being vulnerable and placing himself in a potential situation where the scorecard potentially would have been closer. No, not Bud. Not Bud. No. AW says, always send prayers my way. So y'all send some his way. You never know what's any man going through, health, stress, anything. The rest of the chat include. I'm praying for y'all. Appreciate you, big dog. Much love, bro. I appreciate that. You already know. You already know, man. Y'all definitely give prayers to Haynes and his family. You know, yes. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take long to give a prayer. Real talk. Just like, you know, he's giving it to me. Yes. We all need it. You know what I'm saying? We all need that spiritual love. And especially when it comes from genuine human beings. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for Toby. Hopefully Toby is doing great. I know he was going through some health issues also. Shout out to Al Money in the building. Thanks for the 2-piece, man. Super sticker on deck. Thanks for your support. Much appreciated. One love to you, man. No, man. No, man. Hey. I had the hall monitor run me a list. I was getting who's on deck, who ain't. I'm just saying, man. I say who what legacy? Legacy he tardy or he present? I don't want to. Hey, listen, man. Stop beating around the bush. Just tell me what I hear. It's a Hayne Legacy already in the building or not? I don't want to lose my job. Dry snitching. Hey, I ask you one more time. You fired, yo. He ain't here yet. Man, go ahead and send him the link again. Send him the link again, man. I'm gonna do a buckle. It hurt more. He is a man of dedication, commitment, and share with something Nello know very little. I give Nello his props, even though he popped dirty. Nello is a legend. Nello allowed Bud to set a precedent forever. He would be a part of the boxing annals and the conversations of the greats forever. And the good thing about it, when he retires, whenever that is, he's already a boxing Hall of Famer. So we should be able to see that induction. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm pretty sure the speech is going to be crazy. And then the recognition of his team. I hope Bomac get trainer of the year. I hope they don't dust him off, man, and leave him out there. No, I hope his team get recognition, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the man have a parade the whole day, and then no, I hope he gets recognition, bro. Bud hit Nello with the brick. Craig hit Debo with that brick hand. That brick hand, man. You know? I'm just saying, man. Hey, shout out to Show Enough legendary Crawford. You know, I always loved the Sumari uniform, and to be able to battle, to be able to defend your life in that must have been something in itself. You know, only the strong had to wear that uniform, that body armor, for real. Only the strong, because it doesn't look light. It doesn't look light at all, yo. I'm just being honest with you. It doesn't look light. But we ran down the boxing schedule and everything. You know, it's going about 50 minutes. Um, I'll be on here tomorrow, but I definitely gonna roll back through. Peace and love to everybody. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side official. Another time, another place. You already know. Like a referee whistle.